We are all discoverers, piecing together the puzzle for the first time.
Prêt pour l'éclipse de soleil. À vous.
2 hours and 15 minutes until total eclipse. All telescopes ready.
Dernier réglage sur tous nos télescopes. 2 heures et 15 minutes avant éclipse totale. Terminé.
سيكون الشفق هادئا في هذه الليلة.
D'accord, il faut garder la lumière sur le
Direct
bouton.
telescope north, northwest, 1.1.
We may have more sophisticated tools, but our work builds directly on observations going back to the Arabs in Spain 800 years ago.
الأرض التي تعكس ظل فقط.
Look up at the pool of the sun. The corona is huge.
10, 9,
I'm picking up a very well-defined
7,
area.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Totalité!
Look at the very top of the sun. Just quite a sight.
There is nothing like that. Aha! That special feeling that you get at the moment of discovery.
Colón navegó demasiado al norte. Bordearé la costa africana hasta Sierra Mendoza.
This man came to me, tall and brooding, demanding to know my secrets and to see my maps for crossing the great ocean. He was sent to me by King Charles himself, this crazy man, Fernando Magellan. He had enticed the king with a wild rumor about El Paseo, a way to reach the riches of the East by sailing west. Columbus proved such talk is foolishness. Everyone knows the way is blocked by the great southern continent and guarded by dragons and giants with 4 arms.
A year under sail. We have traveled down the coast farther south than Columbus or any other has ever sailed. We chart our own way, past bays and mighty rivers, but find none that lead through to the great South Sea. My men have seen enough of this barren world of rock and ice where the wind blows without mercy. I have had to kill one of my captains. May his mutinous soul rot in hell. Now all their officers threaten to turn tail for home. For days when we had nothing else, we ate wild celery. Then God sent us strange birds that cannot fly but swim like fishes. They had a sweet taste of chicken. I have found a broad passage, deeper than the lead line can measure. As we sail far into the strait, the water still tastes of salt, promising a new ocean beyond. The Great South Sea. But which way in this treacherous maze of rocks and currents? I have already lost one ship on the reefs. I cannot afford to lose another. Better to send what I can afford to lose. Better to risk one of our small boats.
Señor, a vuestras órdenes.
Que Dios os ayude y os guíe para que encontréis el paso. Todo depende de vuestra merced.
Sí, capitán.
If I can trust any man, it is Alguacil Espinosa.
El Mar del Sur.
He it was who thrust the dagger into the throat of the traitorous Capitan.
I swore to Captain General Magellan I would not return until I saw the Great South Sea. We follow a desolate waterway, such as no Christian has seen before. It is as if we travel beyond the laws of God. Waters flow east and west at the same time along opposite shores. The currents threaten our small boat, but they carry promising news. This passage is no river. Just as these waters carry us from one ocean, they must lead us to another. But can we endure?
¡Lo hemos descubierto!
When I returned with news of passage to the Great South Sea, Captain General Magellan wept for joy. We set sail across that great sea. Just 18 of us saw home again. Magellan did not. But he proved that no place on earth is beyond the reach of man.
NASA's Magellan spacecraft was launched from the space shuttle over a year ago.
Magellan is deployed.
Now, it's approaching Venus, 147 million miles away. After the Sun and the Moon, Venus is the brightest object in our night sky. By studying the geology of Venus, we can learn more about our own planet.
Goldstone Tracking Station. Do you have an update?
Here at the Goldstone Deep Space Communications Station in the California desert, we're waiting to receive the first signal from Magellan as it begins to map the planet. This is a critical moment.
Nothing. Background only.
This is Goldstone Tracking Station. We're not receiving signal from Magellan.
Roger, Goldstone. This is DSS-12, and we see a signal.
We have two-way lock.
I'm Ellen Stofan. I'm part of the Jet Propulsion Laboratory team studying Venus. Once the spacecraft started mapping the planet's surface, it took the computers a few hours to process the data, while we all held our breath. Finally, Steve Saunders called at 4 a.m. and said the radar team had processed the data. They were getting their first look, the first high-resolution images ever taken of Venus.
Ellen,
Hi.
look at this.
Oh my God.
Look at these are the fracture system coming out of Nirvana.
Oh wow, that's incredible. Look at that. About 100 scientists have been working on this project, some for 8 years, waiting for this moment. It was an unforgettable feeling, looking at that narrow strip of the surface of Venus and thinking, we're the first people to ever see this.
It tells us that the test works, the processor works, everything works.
Steve, look at these. It's like an en echelon pattern right there. Look at that. That's really incredible. These look like aerial photographs, but they're not. There's no camera involved. Magellan uses radar to pierce the clouds and map Venus in these long, narrow strips, which we sometimes call noodles. It's not like work. It's like trying to build a jigsaw puzzle.
Pull that out. So you got your fractures, star fractures up here. Does that match up down there?
I'm studying a deep canyon on the rim of Artemis Corona, trying to figure out how it was formed. That would give us clues to understanding the geology of the planet. It's pretty confusing. I'm still having a hard time with it.
Can you even tell which is up and which is down in here?
No, that's the whole key, because I think some of this inner stuff that you see here, I think that's been pushed together. That some of this is high, but it's really hard to tell. You know, it would be really great if we could have a flight path coming right up this trough. Eric DeYoung devised a way to use the computer data to actually fly us over the surface of the planet so I could really see the geology of the Artemis Trough.
Artemis in just a minute.
There it is.
There's Artemis.
Now we're going to descend to Artemis and fly towards Mitchell Crater.
Okay.
And you can see it there in the foreground.
I think this is just what we need.
In fact, we're going to pull up right now so that we can get an overview of the region and descend into the chasm at the edge of Artemis.
Okay, now you can really see the topography.
Oh, wow, Steve, this is just where we've been looking the other day. Look, it's right coming down that chasm. Eric, how fast are we going?
Over 100,000 miles an hour.
Not bad.
When I first saw this three-dimensional view of Venus, it really helped me start to understand what formed these complex surface features. Look at the asymmetry. This side is so much higher than the outboard side of the trough. I wonder if there's some sort of zone of underthrusting or something going on here.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the high surface temperature affects the strength of those rocks very much.
We've nicknamed these pancake domes. They're made of thick lava flows. They're similar to the Inyo domes near Mammoth, California. What causes an earthquake? Why do volcanoes erupt? Were these rocky domes on Earth created by the same kind of volcanic flows that formed the pancake domes on Venus? Studying the Magellan data really gives us new insights into the basic processes that shape Venus and the Earth. Magellan has given us more data than all our other space probes combined. 20 years from now, my daughter may be exploring the same Magellan data to make new discoveries about Earth.
I wanted to help my father explore the cave. He said it was dangerous, but I told him 2 lanterns are better than 1. For days, my father was digging in a cave where he said ape men lived thousands of years ago. I wondered how these cave dwellers looked. Could they talk? My father said they weren't really men.
Hija, eso no lo sabemos. No eran como nosotros. Eran salvajes. Eran animales. Sin vida espiritual.
O sea, que no tenían alma? Is it true they had no souls?
Eso dice.
My father said that was right. They were more like animals. Voy a buscar más.
Ten mucho cuidado, ¿eh? Recuerda la regla número 1.
Que me quede cerca.
Muy bien.
My father said to be careful. There might be holes in the floor or falling rocks. I promised to follow his first rule. Don't go far. I wanted to see what it felt like, being one of them, hiding here from hungry beasts.
¡María! María. ¿Estás bien?
Padre, bueyes.
No son bueyes. Son bisontes.
I thought they were bulls, but Papa said they were wild buffalo. Bison. My father said bison haven't been in Spain for at least 10,000 years.
No ha habido bisontes en estas tierras en miles de años.
These animals were done by cavemen 10,000 years ago. No one has ever seen their paintings before. I knew that the creatures that created them had feelings like ours. They weren't ape men, they were people. They could think like us. Like us. Like us. Like us.
Intelligence is difficult to measure. We now know dolphins are remarkably intelligent creatures. But what kind of intelligence? I'm Lou Herman, and I've been studying the dolphin's abilities to learn to understand a simple language. We've created a special language of hand gestures here at the Kewalo Basin Marine Mammal Laboratory in Hawaii. Okay.
Dr. Herman?
Yes.
Let me know when you want me to get suited up for the video training.
Okay, I'll give you the sign.
Patty, wait up.
Look who's here, Akea
Hi there, Akea
Look
Kamai.
who's here.
How you doing? Hi. Okay. We believe that we've provided the first convincing evidence that an animal exposed to language can understand not only what words mean, but how word order changes that meaning. Dolphins can link words together, a key to intelligent thought.
Yeah.
Okay, you can play with them a bit, and then we'll start the session.
Good girl. Right up. Yes, that's beautiful. Beautiful.
Okay, Kristen, ready for the next sentence? We cover Kristen's eyes so she can't give unintended messages through eye contact. If we give the dolphin a Akea Kamai, the sequence of gestures meaning surfboard, person, fetch, she understands that she is to find the person in the tank and carry that person to the surfboard, and not the surfboard to the person.
Surfboard person fetch.
Word order makes a difference.
Hey, well done. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Give me
These dolphins are not just performing tricks like circus animals. Very good. They're able to follow a completely new, unfamiliar instruction because they understand the language. Once we discovered this ability, we asked ourselves whether dolphins could comprehend even more abstract forms of communication. Could a dolphin understand gestures given through TV images? Not a live trainer at Tankside. Spiral jump. But a flat, flickering image of a trainer, 12 inches high. There she goes. She did it. Very good, that's correct.
Spiral jump completed.
Okay. That is correct, right.
Prepare for the next sentence.
Send her back to station. We then wondered how abstract this image could be and still be understood. We tried showing only two spheres moving about in black space, tracing out gestures as the trainer's arms and hands normally would. Attention. Hoop through. Ready.
Yes.
To truly understand these wonderful creatures, it's not enough to teach them our idea of language. We must also learn theirs, to learn how they communicate in their own world. This is a new frontier, unexplored territory, and I like that. It means I can follow my imagination wherever it leads me. All I have to do is ask the right questions.
Are light and color two different quantities? Why the shimmer of a butterfly's wing? The ancients say that light is colorless, but what then is a rainbow?
Isaac?
Mr. Babington has brought... What is it?
I've come from the customs house.
All right. Isaac?
Ah, Babington. Well done.
A fool of a customs agent wanted me to put a value on it. I told him knowledge had value beyond price.
These hold a key to the contemplation of colors.
My design is not to explain the properties of light by hypotheses, but to propose and prove them by reason and experiment. The prism bends light, but it bends light of different colors by different amounts. Is this the secret of the rainbow? If color resides in the object, why does a white feather take on many colors when I view it through a prism? Mother, put out the candles, and I will show you the light as you've never seen before. The dawn is almost upon us. As we know, Aristotle and Descartes agree color varies from white to black, from purity to darkness. That red light is closer to pure white, and violet is closer to darkest black. Aristotle and Descartes are wrong. White light holds within itself all the colors of the rainbow. Light consists of rays that bend by different degrees, each a different color.
These colors reside in the prism. The glass provides the color.
I can prove otherwise, with a second prism. If the prism made the colors, why would combining the colors make white? White light consists of rays of different color, differently refractive.
You have taken light to pieces.
And put it back together.
Incredible. Incredible.
The most spectacular light show on Earth, the Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights. We know what causes them, but there's still a lot we don't understand. I'm Bob Ether. I've spent 30 years studying this phenomenon. It was a fantastic aurora, but unfortunately, we weren't quite under the satellite. I'm being flown 300 miles into the Alaskan wilderness so I can observe the aurora from near the Arctic Circle. This year, we'll be lined up perfectly with the satellite. We do this in winter when the nights are 20 hours long, so we've only got 4 hours of daylight to cross the highest mountains in North America and find our campsite.
This is the deepest gorge on the continent, 9,000 feet down, counting the ice. You guys in the back, brace the cargo. We're coming up on some turbulence. Thermometer says 20 below. I think we've got some carburetor ice. Passing the peak. It's downhill from here.
Hey, Dr. Ethan. I think we're coming up on Lake McKinley, about 2 o'clock.
Pump that handle there. You gotta have the skis down.
I'm not much of a skier myself, so I've never warmed up to the idea of a plane that lands on skis. What do you think? Will the ice hold our weight?
We'll find out. Everything okay, Captain? Yeah. Ice field's all right. If we start to crack through, we get the door open fast.
Now all we have to do is sit under the satellite and wait. We've given ourselves 2 months.
We just got word from Colorado. There's a major solar disturbance just a couple hours ago.
So that gives us about 2 days. Let's pray for clear skies.
They're predicting radar disruption and electrical blackouts.
That's great news. We're using the visible aurora to understand more about the invisible magnetic field that surrounds the Earth. The story really starts with the sun, which boils off a stream of electrical particles into space. Some of these particles are trapped by the Earth's magnetic field and then guided to polar regions where they collide with the atmosphere, and that's what generates the aurora. The most intense aurora are caused by giant solar storms, which can explode with a force of 10 million hydrogen bombs, shooting flares 40,000 miles into space.
For the next 24 hours, a major geomagnetic storm began at 0300 hours. Boulder K index at 0600 UT was 8.
Comparing our readings and photographs with the satellite data will help us piece together the puzzle.
That was Boulder. They just read the satellite printout. The magnetic field is still picking up rapidly, and particle energies are way up.
Good. We'll be ready.
We're getting tremendously rapid variations with energies in the range of 3 to 50.
The Earth's magnetic field stores charged particles from the sun for hours or even days. Then suddenly, and we don't yet know what triggers it, the particles explode into the atmosphere. To medieval Europeans, this strange luminance foretold war or the death of kings. But to me, these ray-like structures of the aurora trace out a picture of the Earth's magnetic field, 100 miles high and 1,000 miles wide. That's the science of it, but I know I'm a very lucky man to be out here on nights like this. When people ask me what I do, I say my job is to see what others have seen, but to try to find something new in it. My work is based on the people who went before me. It's really one generation building on the last. What Isaac Newton called standing on the shoulders of giants.
To myself, I seem to have been only like a boy playing on a seashore, and diverting myself in now and then finding a smoother pebble or a prettier shell than ordinary, whilst the great ocean of truth lay all undiscovered before me.
We're trying to understand how the solar system works, how the universe works, where the Earth came from and how it formed, how it evolved. We want to push the edges of what we see around us. And that's why I love it. That's the fundamental challenge of science.
When you work with dolphins, you can really see them trying to solve a problem, to prospect, to figure things out. We aren't the only creatures with the desire to know. We are all explorers.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time.